So, I have some new chickens, completely unexpectedly, and I wasn't planning it. Look at this beautiful girl. So let's let her flutter off. Off you go, darling. There she goes. So I'm just sitting in the chicken area. And as you know, I sadly lost the last of our expats. But I'll cut a very long story short. A local lady was looking for some homes for some expats, and I thought, you know what, why not? So we went and collected 4, and they're absolutely beautiful. I could not be happier. So at the moment, I'll show you the setup that I've got. I'm not letting them in with the others yet. I always give them that isolation period. But because these guys had already been with this lovely lady who's literally a couple of minutes up the road from us, so they've been rehabilitated, and you can see they're looking great, and they've got their feathers on. Here comes another one. And so I want to keep them away from the rest of the flock just for a little while, because obviously bringing new birds into the flock, you do have to be careful. There's another one. I don't know where number 4 is. I'm hoping she'll come over soon. So I'll show you the setup that I've got for them, but they're settling in beautifully, and it won't be long before I'll be able to mix my Old English game with these lovely new ladies. So what I've done for now is I've got this little, oh, you're going to demonstrate beautifully. So they've got some food and water, and they can snuggle up in here. So they're just going in here at night, and I'm letting them wander about during the day, but I am keeping them separate from the other girls for now. So what I've done for now is the other girls are just closed in as we would do during lockdown. It's not for long, and it's to keep them all safe, just so I know that these guys, number one, they're not going to get bullied, or equally that they're not going to bully these ladies. They're getting to know each other, just having a little look at each other, and within a few days I will let them all in together. I will supervise them to start with, and then they will all go in together. We'll open up the door again here, and they can have their time out together, and then hopefully they'll all sleep together in the back of the chicken house. And there you can just see, very independent girl, hiding in the nettles. Hello, beautiful. That's number 4. So finally I got out onto the plot. It's not raining, it's a little bit windy, but it's quite cool. And yeah, I've really got on with some stuff. So in the brassica hoops there, the weeds had gone a bit crazy. And I've also got a bit of pest damage in there. So I've removed some of the lower leaves. I've taken a load of those weeds out. But those brassicas should be okay because they're quite well established. So they can take a bit of a hit on some of the leaves. I can't think what's in there. It's the purple sprouting broccoli, the Kayleigh, sprouts, Cavolo Nero and the Romanesco. And all of those are sort of slower to develop. So they'll get to a point where I can actually lift the netting off and then really keep a good eye on them. So despite my nematodes, I have had a little bit of slug damage, but not enough to decimate them. So they are maturing. So they should be absolutely fine. I've had a little look around and there's so much going on. So the squash are looking really good. And everything's just, you know, looking good considering, you know, it was that full on, you know, the usual start of the year, sowing the seeds, potting them on and then planting them out. And I haven't had as much time as I usually would to keep on top of kind of pest control and weed control. But I've got a little bit of time off. I've got a little block now and then I'm back in work at the weekend, and then I've got another block of time off. And I'm using that time to catch up with things here on the plot, spend time with the animals. So rather than, you know, obviously they're always checked at least twice a day, make sure they've got water, all the essentials are done. But it's nice to spend a little bit more quality time with them. And also we've got a few jobs around the farm that we need to catch up with as well. Now, one of the issues I've been having, where have I put them? I used to use these knee pads and they're absolutely brilliant, but they're dropping to bits. Now I'm hanging on to them because, so these were from Lidl, I think, some years ago, and I haven't seen them in there since, and they were absolutely brilliant. I really struggle to work now without knee pads. You know, I'm getting old. So I bought these new ones, which I may have shown you some time ago, but I'm just not getting on with them. They're either popping open or sliding down, and they're just not comfortable. So if anybody can recommend some really good knee pads, I need to get some more because I struggle without them. I have tried, so in case anybody thinks of suggesting like a kneeler, I don't get on with them. I need to have my knees independent so that when I'm scratting around, you know, sometimes you want to move one knee and then the other. I don't want to be moving a kneeler all the time. So I need knee pads, but I could do with some recommendations if any of you have got good recommendations of ones that you've used. Drop me a comment below. I'd be really, really grateful. So that's Kayleigh having a snooze after her walk. We're at Nantwich Lake, which is about a 20-minute drive from ours, and Kayleigh loves it because it's a circular walk and it's not too far. There's loads of other dog walkers, and there's always ducks and duck poo and swans and geese and lots to look at, and it's one of her favourite places. And one of the things that I like is in the winter months, I mean obviously it's nice and warm today, but I wanted to get in and get the cool air onto Kayleigh. But you can sit here, you can see I'm in the car, and you've got a fabulous view. You can just sit and watch the wildlife. So I've got myself a cup of coffee that I brought with me. In hindsight, I think maybe squash would have been better, or a cold drink, but it was quite chilly when I left the house, so coffee it is.
It's an absolutely glorious morning, and what a welcome relief after all this rain we've been having. It's 7:20 in the morning. It's about 20 degrees already out here. It's absolutely lovely, but I thought, you know what, it's going to get really hot. So I've got all the animals sorted, and I thought I'd get out and get a few bits and pieces done here before it gets too hot. So I've hoed off the weeds in the empty bed that the onions came out of, I did find a random little onion. I've given it a squeeze. I think it might be okay, so I'll leave that in the polytunnel and see how it does. Seems silly to waste it. If it goes to mush, it'll go on the compost. I want to get those shallots in today, and I'd like to get some more potatoes in. So some shallots and some potatoes, and probably some more carrots, so I can put them together. Well, not the shallots, but the potatoes and the carrots. The shallots will need seasoning, but the potatoes and carrots will do for tonight's tea. So again, said it a million times, I'm sure, who doesn't love a good potato reveal? So these are the potatoes that I grew in tubs, and I can't remember the variety. I did 5 or 6 tubs of the same variety, and yeah, let's get them in. Not bad at all. So this was one of the tubs that they had either 1, 2 or 3. I can't remember now. I'd have to go back and look at a previous video. Hold on, let's work it out. So I've still got the original label from the seed potato packet. So these were Kayleigh, and there was 10 of them, and I had 6 of these tubs. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'd have needed 12 to put 2 in each bucket. So it was 1 or 2 potatoes. So considering there was only 1 or 2 in this, that's really a nice little harvest, and there's certainly plenty there for 2 to 3 meals for Chris and I, if I add in plenty of other veg. So let's get these shallots in next. Or shall we do some carrots? Let's do some carrots and then we'll do the shallots. So they're not bad carrots, a few wonky ones in there, but again, I don't mind my wonky veg. That one's not bad, and this one's really long and straight. A few wonky ones, but they'll all scrub up and taste just as delicious. And there are my potatoes. So I've made myself a quick cup of tea in between doing this. And I'm just going to sit and enjoy this morning sunshine with my brew, and then I'm going to get these shallots in. So I wouldn't normally harvest things like onions early in the morning when the ground is damp like this, but if I don't get them in today, now, while I've got the opportunity, it's not going to happen. And because I'm going to put them straight into the polytunnel, that's going to give them plenty of opportunity to dry out and start to season. So let's get them in. And these are the Zebruni shallots, which I sowed from seed. So these are the first onions or alliums that I've successfully grown from seed. So shallots, tick. Onions, I'm going to stick to sets. beautiful. Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. That's a whopper. So look at these shallots. So I have left them in a bit longer than I should, but boy oh boy, look at the size of them. There's a couple that have gone a little bit too big, but hey, you know what? They're shallots and they're going to go a lot further. So they're absolutely grand and I'm thrilled with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I do with the onions, which is to pop them in these slats to season. And there they are. So quite a lot of them are too small because, I mean, they are shallots, to put through the slats because the slats are too big. But I've laid them out, and with the sun warming up the polytunnel, they'll soon start to season beautifully. So cuppa time again, and I'm absolutely thrilled to bits with my shallots, some more carrots and a lovely little potato harvest.